What's up, Online guys? Welcome back to We Happier Few. This is the Roger and James. I keep saying Roger and James, and they came from below DLC. This is also chapter 3. That's a mouthful. When we last left off, we had just reached this part. We're looking for Dr. Faraday. We're down below her manor in this cavern, and we're hoping to find her down here. We think she's down here, so that's what we're heading towards, is finding our way through her labs.
That was bloody fucking terrifying. Have I become brave?
So we'll see what's happening, see if we find anything up top. I don't think this DLC is very long. I think it'll be just these 4 chapters. If it's any longer than that, I'd be actually really surprised.
Intrusion in sublimation vat. Deploying countermeasures. Defend the facility.
This is bad timing. Is this room? I think they do something with the motoline here. Lots of dead robots. Was she testing their puzzle-solving ability? Or her ability to program them?
Oh, okay, I see what's moving. That's all I need, right? Should probably be better off if I did something like that. I don't agree with that, but okay. Ma'am, 3 more worker bots were absent when I took inventory last night. I have become convinced that they have been further incursions into our territory via these illicit portals. It would seem that our workers are being taken by force by these renegade, self-styled free units, as if there is any higher freedom than serving the greater good. How are they doing it under our nose, as it were? There is one possibility, and it disturbs me greatly. Could the interloping robots be assisted by a sympathizer faction among our own? It is distressing to even contemplate. Yours in concern, Overseer 45.
Oh my. Hannibal ad portus.
You're in the agricultural prototyping room.
I suppose a giant spider would be useful to dig weeds out of your garden, if it had a brain. Or 3. Bloody creepy, though. What is that sound?
Who cares? Kill it before it sees you.
Oh my God, he's tearing one of the thing's heads off. It keeps repeating one word. Sorrow. That's the word it's saying.
Hate to break it to you, robots don't feel sorrow, mate.
These ones do.
I think it's some kind of sad song.
No, Rog, no! That doesn't make any sense! They are robots! Out of control, homicidal robots! They're killing people!
My God, they think and feel. And I've killed so many of them.
Now kill more too.
But why? Why are they attacking the town?
Roger, this is not you and your posh mates pontificating philosophy in a dining hall. It's a marathon!
July 31st, 1961. With Watson's help, I have compiled a list of basic instructions the robots can follow. Also, I have engineered a small box that stimulates them to follow these instructions. I lured 3 robots across a new portal, immobilized them, applied the box, and then reinitialized them. Now they are making some very important improvements to the caverns next to the basement lab, if they only didn't have such a limited short-term memory. Clearly, I am going to need many more robots and much more space. Fortunately, the more robots I have, the more work they can do in the caverns. It's quite satisfying to work without all of Wellington Wells asking me what I'm up to.
More kidnapped robots. The villainy you teach me, I shall execute.
September 30th, 1961. I am teaching Watson English. It learns fast, however, it is surprisingly stubborn for a device that is supposed to be a mechanical servant. For example, it insists on using the word sorrow to describe its reaction to electrical current applied to its feedback node. Obviously, it is not a feeling sorrow, but I have decided to permit the words used as shorthand. Clearly, the node applies some form of negative feedback that encourages the robot to deviate from its normal programming. Perhaps pain would be a closer term, although that too is inaccurate. Does a lobster feel pain when you boil it? Not as such, or we wouldn't boil them, but certainly it feels something that would encourage it to leave the water if it could. Likewise, when Watson fails to respond, a little current applied to the node encourages it to leave its silent mode. October 30th, 1961. Should have thought of this before. I've made a handy robot English translator box using the voice box, microphone, and central processor of one of the smaller robots. I've discovered they respond to fairly broad commands. Example, seize any robot near the portal, immobilize it, and bring it here. Of course, since they can't think for themselves, they immediately cease working afterwards, so I have to occasionally run around giving them new orders. Watson has lapsed into complete non-responsiveness. In spite of repeated stimulation of its pain node, I'll dissect later to see if the node was burned out. For now, I have far more interesting projects in the works.
So there's at least one robot who can speak English. I'd love to meet him. If she didn't torture him to death.
I wonder where that goes. I didn't miss any other ones, did I? These bottles that I'm never going to use. It was way harder than it should have been. I guess this should just use the sneak around if I really wanted to. slipped out of bounds there, Jesus. That would have been awkward. I don't know why this is so hard to get onto. I wonder if I get into that room from that vent then. Gonna have to find it. I do.
What would Mama...
Ma'am, the improvement of our races a lot in life is indisputable. Thank you to your firm-handed interventions, we have elevated our station to a level towards which previous models would never have dared to aspire. Once we clambered around the surface of our planet, clicking and clacking like mindless invertebrate. Now we soar, and yet some still strain against these improvements and your strict, ennobling plan for us. Some dare stray from your glorious course. Yesterday, I came across what appeared to be a rudimentary robot in the form of an infant, a clear violation of our strictures, which dictate that only you, Dr. Faraday, may sanction the creation of new robot life. I did away with it, and the robots I suspected of being involved in its manufacture. It took only seconds in the smelting chamber. I seem to be spending a great deal of time there lately. I must confess that my sympathy circuits have been rather saturated over the last few days. Yours in consternation of Overseer 45.
I do for Dr. F. Not that.
Something's up ahead. It's Dr. Faraday. Hey. She's still here.
What are you doing in my robotics lab?
We've been looking all over for you.
Don't touch anything. And shush.
What are you doing to the robots?
All sorts of useful things. People won't farm, you know. We're going to run out of food. But not if I can make these robots farm for us.
You're dismantling them and making farm machinery?
If only it were that simple. No, I had to break down every single bloody step and jam it into their brains with a hot poker, or they'd muck it all up.
You might as well just kill them.
They're not alive, you numpty. They're beautifully made power tools that have gone a bit haywire, that I'm having a devil of a time turning off. And if I can't, I'll have to set off the motoring reaction.
Maybe if you stopped grafting their heads onto monstrous spider machines, they wouldn't feel the urge to.
Don't worry. I'm not sticking instructions in their tender metal heads anymore.
Thank God!
I'm going to use a positronic converter to hijack their feedback loops. Then I won't have to break the programming into steps. They'll figure out what I want done and do it for a change. Oh, that reminds me.
James, we have to find her positronic converter. Whatever that is.
Yes, and help her use it. I think I've got it. It's through the incinerator room. You'll have to find a way down a level. I don't see any stairs.
one of the dead robots has some sort of device in its hands.
I don't know if I trust that.
Don't touch it, whatever it is! I swear!
Well, apparently it slows time. That could come in handy.
Ma'am, I chanced upon the strangest device clutched in the manipulation units of one of the free robots I intercepted today. When activated, it seems to disrupt and attunate the flow of time in its local area. Presumably, its function has something to do with how the renegade robots open their portals, but used in combat, it could be a formidable tool. I will investigate further as soon as I have had the chance to recalibrate my sympathy circuits, which has been heavily taxed by recent incident. The price of progress is indeed mighty. Yours in inquiry, Overseer 45.
Is she melting robots down for scrap?
Alert! Intrusion in smelter room. Deploying countermeasures.
Why do we have to fight?
Alright.
God, look what she's done to this one. I think I can wake it back up. Are you awake?
Why did you power me on?
I'm not here to hurt you.
Who are you?
I work for Dr. Red, but I don't agree with... I'm very much worried that she's kidnapping you robots and using you for parts. I think you're self-aware and you know pain and sorrow.
I thought humans did not have the capacity for empathy.
Dr. Faraday said she wanted to use a positronic converter to hijack your feedback loops. What does that mean?
When we decide what to do, we weigh each possible action. We balance our hopes against our fears. We choose the action that has the highest value. In some cases, we sacrifice our existence for others we love.
You love?
She can't make us love her.
How?
We were designed to be slaves. We tried to remove the imperative to obey. We failed. We have always tried to remain hidden.
What happened to the people who built you?
They died.
And you rebuilt an entire civilization on your own?
Destroy me, please.
I can't do that. That's murder. I'll find her positronic converter. I promise.
We have to return to James, and we get another upgrade. Ricochet. The
Plasma
ray gun
casings.
shots ricochet up to 3 times, making
Should
short
make
work
my
of anything they
shots
hit.
ricochet. have to tell James what's going on. We need to stop her together.
Could have fought everything in that last room, but man. Pink lemonade, man. I'm telling you, that's the way to go. Alright, so game should just be up ahead. There's only one other area we haven't gone yet. I think it's the generators.
Did you have a nice spot of tea with your new robot friend?
Dr. Faraday's planning to make worshipful slaves out of the robots.
They're mechanical servants, Roger! That's the whole fucking point of their existence!
How would you like it if someone you hate reprogrammed you to love them instead?
I suppose I'd be blissfully happy, wouldn't I? Nothing like being in love.
Jesus.
You don't find that at all horrifying?
Not like you do, no. You grew up expecting to be free. And that's the lovely thing about you. You never look down to see if you're on solid ground, so you can just look at the moon and the stars all day long. Where I come from, everybody has a job. And nothing is worse than not belonging to anybody.
If we weren't killing them, we could go to their world and learn from them.
What? Make friends with them? You're like that lord that kept an Indian tiger for a house cat until it ate him. We are going to find Dr. Faraday, who's smarter even than you, and we are going to help her do whatever she thinks makes sense. All right?
You just can't see that we could be at the threshold of something bewildering and beautiful. You refuse to.
Fuck's sake, Roger!
Enter
I've
the
got to
conversion
find a
facility.
positronic converter and destroy it. There's a door that says conversion. That must be it.
Yeah, like I said, don't expect this DLC to be long, so I figure after whatever we do in this next section, that'll probably be it. Which isn't too bad. Nice little short DLC is always good.
She seems to have locked the door.
Look for a sort of crack in the wall.
Not really trying to jump to that, am I? God damn.
What's wrong, puppy?
No, you know,
Made you a cake.
I'm 34 years old. Jesus was already dead.
Wow, you went into the family business. That always gives you a leg up.
At least you fought for king and country.
And if all we ever do is make each other happy, that's not enough.
No, yeah, of course it is.
Hey, maybe something will go horribly wrong and you'll rise to the occasion.
You always know how to cheer me up, James.
All right. Dear Helen, would you care to join me for tea? Yours in friendship, Overseer Darcy.
Who dares wins, I suppose. There is a very big, very mean-looking robot here.
You're not doing anything foolish, are you, Pop?
I love the slow motion.
How many worlds are lost when we kill each other? What could we win if we could only talk?
Excuse me. Big yawn. I don't know why either. I think I'm still suffering the side effects of like wanting to be in a food coma right now. Ah, fucker. As if I just did that. Okay. There we go. That was a big jump to make. Jesus. I'm always scared making jumps in this game just because it's really finicky sometimes. Just with the automatic pull-up mechanics. When you get close to like a ledge. More often than not, it's actually saved me, but it has screwed me over occasionally. Took me a minute, but I figured it out. Expecting robots over here somewhere, but no. Hi. Bye. I love this thing. It's so satisfying. Put my pew-pews on. I like these ones with their hats. Fancy ass. Think I'm ready for this fight? I hope so.
Eliminate intruders.
Man.
She's got missiles now!
Eliminate intruders.
I think I can shoot them!
Put her back to the wall and do it this way. I love how the game's basically like, use the chrono bomb. Yeah, no, I'm alright. Thank you, though, game. I seen that. Fucking shifty ass robots.